Hey, Steve Zalunardo here with Treviso Realty. We're still up north. We're actually flying into Chicago this afternoon and then to RSW, Fort Myers by this evening. We had to do a stopover, but all good because I didn't want to leave too early, so we could have got a direct flight, but I hate waking up at 3 a.m. It kind of kills my whole day. So we are still in the Death Star. If you kind of look, it looks like we're in Star Wars in here, so our home base in Toronto. But just to give you a quick idea on current inventory, obviously we start these talks on Mondays with inventory. We're at 18,506 units available, so very similar in the last couple of weeks. We kind of hovered there. We're going to get a build up clearly because we're going into season. 576 sales in the last 7 days, and then if we move that into Estero, we're at 715. So we've got a little bit of an increase in inventory since the last time we checked. I believe it was 2 weeks ago, with 35 sales in Estero. So a little bit of inventory bundling up, which is fine. We're still doing quite well there. We got listings that are resale listings that are selling, which is fantastic, or we're getting showings. New construction still going well, and again, so we're up north this week doing I keep calling them damn webinars. It's seminars. We had live seminars that we've produced down here in up north. So what we have is we did a seminar on Canadians invested in Florida. Again, we're bringing in money. This is the whole point of these journeys. I've been out here for 8 to 10 days, so this is very hard on me because I'm away from my family. But this is also what we're doing. We're bringing in money from up north, so investments into Florida, sell investment properties. And then we did 2 nights back to back, sold out. We actually charged $100, $150 a ticket in order to, it's Canadians moving to Florida or the United States rather. And you got to see the big influx of people that are looking to egress out of this country and move into the United States, and specifically into Florida. And I'm hoping to bring a lot of these folks into Southwest Florida. Why? Because they're like-minded. They're going to produce for the economy. They're great families. Similar to if you've known me, some of you do, it's the same cut of cloth basically. So this is what we're trying to bring in, some like-minded people to build a better community going forward. And again, they're coming in with a lot of money. These are high net worth people worth millions of dollars. They got millions of dollars to sell in assets. So we're bringing in quality people into Southwest Florida, which is fantastic. We're really excited about that. So this has been a very successful week, to be honest, going forward. So we're going to bring in a shitload of business. And our goal is obviously we have different sections that we're focused in on. So we're in Toronto, which is high net worth clients moving money across the border. Then we were focused on New York, on the different boroughs that are more similar to, let's say, the city that we're currently in Toronto. Hardworking, high net worth clients that are looking to move and get a better life. So Southwest Florida. We're going to be going to Chicago. I'd like to go to Chicago and do some filming as well before the year end, and then we're going to hit Minnesota 100%, Milwaukee, Michigan, Ohio. We got to hit a few of these states, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to create live webinars with different brokerages, maybe go like a tour and kind of show some of these realtors, instead of just, if you have clients that are obviously moving this way, you might as well refer them to an agent that's going to take care of them, and they would get the referral fee on the end. So we got a lot of plans going forward. We're going to create our own economy. This is why we've had such a great year in Florida. It's just based on us poking different economies and searching for our buyers. I mean, we're not, before we used to knock on doors and cold call. Now we're literally flying, doing live webinars. So our new doors are basically plain doors, which is awesome. And this is why we're going to build that business to 100, 200 deals a year, no issues with our Florida business. What else there to talk about? We have a lot of bad media, not just in Canada, but also in New York, Chicago, like anything Democratic, to be honest. Any Dem state has got some terrible ideas of information, and what they talk about pretty negatively is the Florida market. I just want to show you this. This is how we look at anything as an investor. So I've been investing in property since I was 21 years old, okay? So it's more than half of my life. So we've been doing this quite long. So we got an idea. We've always made money on everything we bought and sold. Even the last property, even those markets collapsing, we made a 25% return on capital. Usually it's 200 to 500%. But at least we came out at every piece of real estate. We've never lost any money since I've started investing. I'm 21 years old, so pretty good track record. Let's look at days on market here. This is very, very important. Or not days on market, months of inventory. This is important. This is where we get all our data. So this is us set up for a 3-year is set up for the last 3 years. You kind of look at it, inventory buildup is usually around this March section. So if you look at 24, we had a buildup, highest point in March, and then we look in this year, we had our highest buildup in March. But look where we're at. We're at 10.7 months in March, and let's take off, I want to take off condos. Because condos are, let me see if we can do, what happens if we do condos. So look, if you look at condos, like 13.5 months of inventory. Let's take condos out, because it is a different market. Let's go into single family dwellers, nothing attached to like a multi-level building. We look at inventory in March, we had, let's just focus on Bonita, 8.8 months of inventory. We go into this month, we have 5 months of inventory. So just give you an idea of where that basically lies in percentage form. Let me see. So it's like 45% less inventory since March. So we had a drop off of 45% inventory since March. This is what you need to look at. So we've really had no adjustments on interest rates, and we're shedding inventory like crazy. We get to days on market, which is how long it takes a home to sell. If you kind of look at Bonita, 78 days on the market. Now we're down to 58. That's like, it's again, another 40 to 50% drop in days on market. So you're kind of seeing what's happening. And we didn't even hit season yet. So season's where everything starts going quick. This is basically at a season right now. Wait till we get in season with a little bit more rates, a little bit more optimism in the U.S. economy. We're going to be in a shitstorm here where you're going to see inventory just drop right off, and then ultimately house prices are going to be on the upward ascension, which is currently happening right now. If you kind of look at just the way builders are performing, and again, I sound like a broken record kind of going through this. It's so if Lennar shut off 75% on the last quarter, I need to find out this quarter what's happening. I mean, I'm going to message one of our sales staff at Lennar to kind of see where we're at. And I would imagine if it was down to 100 quick move-ins last month or last quarter, we should be down to 50 to 25. So at the end, this is where we're going to be going forward. And incentives are starting to pull incentives off. So like Lennar was giving you $20,000 towards closing on some specific areas. Now it's $15,000, and it's starting to shrink that all down. So what that's going to do is shrink all the rate. They used to buy down these rates to something really, really ridiculous where nobody can offer this because they're buying these rates down $20,000, $30,000. Those rates are starting to go up closer to what you would get through just through a bank, like a bank, American bank. So ultimately, you're starting to see all this stuff coming down. Why? The demand's there, and they don't need to give you more because they know you're going to buy. So this is why we all need to start looking at real estate right now. If you are on the fence, we should book a Zoom call. I want to go through this with you in depth, and then you can make a decision at that point, because we're not in the business of hard selling. We're at the business of educating our clients. And then when they have the education that level, or at our level where we got right now, like where we're kind of looking at the market, then they can make a decision if they want to buy or not buy. But let's get on a call. Let me get you up to speed, and you make a decision at that point. But these links are always attached. Even my Instagram, you can follow the Calendly link and book an appointment. But that's pretty much it, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.